doing well? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to come in and break some things down for you in terms of what's happening in the economy and also put more money in your pocket so that you will be financially secure long term. That's what I want for you. I just want you to have more money. I don't care what your politics are. You can get caught up in all the nonsense if you want to. I want to focus on the dollars and cents because I think that that's what matters for our community as economic power. All right, so with that being said, as you come in, just say hello, give me a thumbs up really quick, and also share, subscribe, all that stuff. And also don't forget that this podcast is on Spotify. So if you go to Spotify and look up my name, Boyce Watkins, you can find all kinds of stuff. Dr. Boyce Daily in the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. I have a couple of podcasts on Spotify you can take a look at. All right, so let's don't jump into this. First off, a lot of people have been asking me, is Trump going to cut a lot of jobs? Are job losses coming? Is the economy going to sink? Is inflation going to be high? And the answer to all those things is yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Trump is going to cut jobs. This government shutdown is probably going to lead to the loss of at least 150,000 government jobs. As you know, that's going to probably affect our people a lot because a lot of us work for the government, and this is something that is inevitable. This is what is going to probably occur. I know he's fighting with the Democrats about that, and I think that they're using this situation as an opportunity to clean house, so to speak. Just change things, to the direction they want them to go. And so, not only are jobs going to be lost due to the shutdown, but also you're going to have you have this massive issue with young people. If you have anybody in your house that's under the age of 25, you might want to warn them that a lot of college graduates are reporting that they can't find jobs, even in majors that are typically in high demand, like computer science and stuff like that. AI is already here. AI is already shifting things. Sam Altman already said that this is the first year that AI is smarter than human beings. And remember, AI is never going to be, it's the dumbest that it's ever going to be. So literally, this is just the beginning. This ain't even the most interesting part of the AI journey. And that's something worth paying attention to. Now, do me a favor really quick. I'm going to check my audio. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a quick yes if you can hear me in the chat. I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay, or shout out your city or something. Just let me know you can hear me all right. Make sure I'm coming through all right. All right, and I'll look for the yeses so I'll know that I can keep talking. All right, so here are a few things you should know about the economy. And if you stick around to the end, what I'll do is I'll share some stocks that I'd like that I think you can invest in that will be good moves for you financially, potentially. Again, stocks that are expected to do well in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe 5 to 10 years long term. My goal is not fast money. I don't do fast money because that's the don't last money. I'd rather have you have a long-term generational wealth and financial security. That's what we aim for here. We don't do crazy stuff. All right. So first thing is that the economy is. There's a lady named Kathy Wood who does really good analysis, and she said some stuff that was I thought was pretty profound. And this is her perspective. This is not 100% correct, but there's some things she said that made a lot of sense. And one thing that Kathy expects is that there's going to be a productivity boom in the United States. Now, there's reasons to be alarmed about the amount of debt that the government's taken on. It's not healthy. The deficit keeps growing. But one of the things that Kathy believes, and that I don't tend to disagree with her on, is that some of these moves being made right now by the government could have some chance of being deficit reducing. And also, we're expected to have a growth in productivity, particularly due to AI. The big driver of the economy has been AI. A lot of you have been invested in stocks in that industry along with us, and some of you have made ungodly amounts of money, with some of the stocks we've talked about, Oklo, stuff like that. NBIS, Nebius Group is another one we've talked about. And so this productivity boom, what that does is that can forgive your sins financially. So that means if you have a big deficit or a large amount of debt and you become insanely productive, that can actually work your way out of the debt, right? So it's just like in your life. If you have a lot of money that you owe on your credit card, but you suddenly find a way to make twice as much in income, then that amount on your credit card isn't going to hold you back as much. Also, here's another concern. Well, it's not it's a concern, but it's also an issue. She thinks that inflation is going to drop in the next couple of years. I don't think it's going to drop though. I think that the tariffs are going to actually increase inflation. And right now, the evidence is pointing in the direction of increased inflation, which is another issue, which unfortunately connects to the fact that job growth is not what it should be. So you've got what I think is the formula for potentially stagflation, which is a dirty word in economics. That's when you have low productivity of the economy and high inflation at the same time. So the Fed is fighting battles on multiple fronts. But what's probably going to happen is that the Fed is likely going to reduce interest rates several times in the next year or so. And there's a saying in investing that says, don't fight the Fed. And what that means is that typically when the Fed reduces interest rates, you see a little bit of a boost in the stock market. In fact, historically, when the government has shut down, the stock market actually goes up, which is just the craziest thing. It makes no sense, but that's just what happens. Kathy and others expect that there's going to be a manufacturing boom in the United States, and fueled mostly by foreign direct investment. She mentioned that just this year, she said basically the Trump drama, the chaos, the kind of ghettoization of all the American infighting over politics, that's made people not want to invest as much in the U.S., which has had an impact on bond yields. Bond yields haven't gone down as much as they should, and a lot of people believe that there's a lower demand for U.S. bonds and that it's affected the dollar and stuff like that. She thinks that that's temporary. She thinks that once people see the massive productivity boost of the United States, they're going to invest in the U.S. again. And I don't disagree. I mean, they did something crazy with depreciation where they're literally letting you write off. They're letting businesses write off like the next 20 or 30 years of an investment, which is unprecedented from what I understand. And that's massive in terms of really impacting corporate profits and things like that. Now, another thing that Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, believes, and there are a few that agree with him, is that these increases in productivity can actually reduce the deficit to literally below 3% of GDP, which actually there's evidence to say that the deficit's actually already dropping under the Trump administration, I guess due to collection of tariffs and some things like that. And so this sort of this is unexpected by a lot of people, but it basically says that if we do get these productivity gains that are expected, that can have a positive impact on the deficit over the next 3 or 4 years. In addition to that, even beyond the dollar sort of having, being impacted by the fact that the Trump drama has made America look bad and reduced the demand for the dollar. A lot of people believe that there's going to be that a lot of these people that say we're not going to invest in the U.S., we're diversifying away from the U.S., they're all going to come back. Because one thing the U.S. is just really good at is being productive and building businesses and making investments. We have the best capital markets on earth, the most liquid, most efficient, most impactful. And everybody's like, oh, we're mad at the U.S. We're leaving. They're kind of like that girlfriend, that gets mad, but she's dating the guy who's got the mansion and the Porsche and everything, and she tries to walk away, but then she realizes that she's going to have to go work at Wendy's again if she don't turn around and come back. So she just says, okay, well, don't cheat on me no more, right? So I'm kidding, I'm joking. But that's kind of what it is in the United States. That basically, because the U.S. is so productive, the return on capital is going to be so massive. The hyperscalers are making such crazy investments when it comes to AI. It is a bubble, by the way. It is a bubble. It's probably going to pop. But just because it's a bubble doesn't mean you shouldn't invest. That's all going to be positive for the U.S. in terms of pushing our economy in a good direction. The last thing too, is don't forget job losses are going to be pretty big. That's good. That's unavoidable. You're going to have losses from this whole situation with the government shutdown. You've already got companies that are freezing their hiring because they're trying to figure out what to do with AI. They are not hiring college graduates like they used to, which is why your black children should be taught to start a business and master AI. And then in addition to that, when they measure little things like the quit rate, they have something called the quit rate where they measure how often people quit their job and how long it takes them to get a new job if they quit their current job. Well, two things that they found. Number one, when people quit their jobs, it's taking longer to find a new job. That's the first thing. Second thing is that people are quitting their jobs at a much lower frequency than before. So the economy's shifting in that direction. So keep an eye out on that. And this is yet another reason why stock market investors, in almost every economy, the stock market investors are the ones who win. If they don't win this year, they win within 5 to 10 years in almost every case. So that's one of the reasons why I encourage you to consider investing in the stock market. It's hard to build wealth without doing that. Now, a couple quick things I want to mention really quickly is I do have a book, in case you don't know. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's an Amazon bestseller. There are also flashcards that go with it in case you want to teach our economic principles to your children. My primary goal is to increase wealth in the black community, but it doesn't mean you have to be black to be here. But you got to know that I'm a black man. I'm not going to apologize for it. As long as you can accept me as a black man, then I can accept you too. And so you can go to drboycebooks.com if you'd like to take a look at the flashcards, workbooks, and other materials that we have from our Black Financial Therapy Department, things like that. Number two, those of you that are interested in using stock options as a way to generate income, I can tell you, I've mentioned a lot of times, I'll keep mentioning this. This is the best, most efficient way to make money that I've ever seen. And so if you want to join us, we're going to meet for class this week. You can go to drboyceprime.com. For those of you that are already enrolled, two things I want to mention. One, I finally got the app fixed. I finally created the Dr. Boyce options income calculator where you can put in a ticker symbol and it'll show you how much income you can generate from that stock. I tested it again today and I think it's working. I think I finally got it to work. So I'll release that in class in a couple of days. And then the second thing, too, there was something else. Oh, yeah, I put together a couple of fast cash action plans on some stocks that I'm actually generating income from right now. And if you apply these plans, I try to lay it out in as simple of a framework as possible. And if you do these plans, you can actually start making money on Monday. So feel free to take a look at that, drboyceprime.com, if you'd like to follow us and join us. You can also text the word options to the number 87948. So that's options with an S to 87948. So let me give you a couple stocks that I think will benefit if these predictions are true. Again, note this is not investing advice. Nothing is guaranteed. Never forget that. All investing always involves risk. Give me a yes if you understand that. I always ask you that, and I ask you to tell me yes that you understand that investing involves risk because I want you to get used to taking risk. I want you to get used to trying and failing. I want you because trying and failing is the only way you can succeed. So give me a yes in the chat if you understand that investing involves risk, investing involves risk, investing involves risk. I want to always tell you about the downside so that when we're celebrating the upside, we don't forget to be careful, right? You got I believe in being careful. Don't roll the dice and bet it all. That's a good way to go broke. All right. So here's a couple of stocks that are expected to do well if this manufacturing and productivity boom happens the way some experts are predicting. Number one is Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT. There's an expectation that as they build all the data centers and the manufacturing facilities and everything else, that there's going to be a big need for heavy equipment. Caterpillar is really good at that. Their ticker symbol is CAT. This is a stock, in my opinion, that's not so great for generating short-term income, but it's excellent as a long-term investment. If you believe in the rebuilding of America, then Caterpillar is going to be right in the middle of all of that. The CEO of Ford actually mentioned something I thought was pretty profound. He was talking about the fact that my mama, rest her soul, she went to heaven on Christmas Eve. She's hanging out with Jesus right now. But she used to say all the time, and I don't know how many of y'all felt this way, but it really sucked that America stopped teaching kids trades in school. Did anybody else find that annoying? It was really annoying to me that we started getting to the point where we literally were just, throwing everybody toward college. And college may not be for everybody. I mean, everybody could do it, I believe, if they put their mind to it, but everybody isn't going to love it the way I loved it. And so you had just a wasteland of trillions of dollars in youth talent that could have been used to create businesses in carpentry and HVAC and plumbing and everything else. Well, guess what? Now, especially with the advent of AI, the Ford CEO, he said, the problem in America is we don't have enough young people that know how to do these jobs. They don't know how to work with their hands. They don't know how to build stuff and all that, right? So this is what's going to be needed, especially when AI comes and AI, all the people who work with their brain, AI can replicate a lot of that. Computer programmers, oh, AI's got that covered. If you are an accountant, oh, AI can do that, right? If you're a strategist, AI can strategize as well as you can, right? So ultimately, the ability to do things and build things and all that is something AI can't do right now as well as humans. Although the robots are coming, that the robotics industry is expected to be bigger than the automobile industry. Did y'all hear me? Robotics is expected to be bigger than the automobile industry. And that's why I have an investment stake in Tesla. I don't care nothing about nobody's politics. I got my money in Tesla because they are one of the leading companies in this area. Also, Bots, BOTZ. Bots is an ETF that's in robotics. That's a long-term investment for me. So the robots, when the robots are here, it's going to just be a different world, right? You're just going to have all these freaking robots that are smarter than people, that are stronger than people, that have more flexibility and endurance than humans do. And it's like, man, what do we do? This is going to be crazy. I told my wife today. My wife wants to get a cat because our youngest is still. We got one more kid in the house, and she's trying to figure out what to do with the empty nest. And she's like, I want to get a cat. And I'm like, well, just give it like 3 years. Let's just get an AI cat, right? Like, it'll probably be, and the difference is it'll have an IQ of like 400 or something, but it'll probably know how to meow and be cute and cuddly, right? It'll be smart enough to make us feel good and manage our emotions. So let's just get an AI cat. Then we can turn it off when we want to go on a vacation. You get a person or a real animal, it's just, you gotta, they be crapping all over the place. Anyway, okay, let me get back to it. So forget the AI cat. This is a conversation we literally had. Another one is JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan, I just made a substantial investment in JP Morgan. Basically, if GDP growth is accelerating and the Fed starts cutting, then JP Morgan just knows how to get right in the middle of that. And they know how to jump in that sweet spot and get that bread. And so I don't bet against two white boys I don't bet against are Tom Brady and Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JP Morgan. They've run the economy. They know how to position themselves. They know how to make that money. So JP Morgan could be a nice long-term stock that you can dollar cost average into. I believe it's a generational stock. It's the kind of stock that you invest in consistently over a 30-year period, pass it to your child, and then they become owners of JP Morgan, and then you've got a nice little black-owned business that's yours. And what I mean by black-owned business is you're black, you own it, that's black-owned. You're just not doing the work. Just because you ain't doing the labor don't mean you can't be a business owner. We've been working for them for a long time. I think it's time that they work for us. So Jamie Dimon, you work for me. Do my job. Do that damn job. So anyway, JP Morgan is another company you may want to look at. Not investing advice, but I did actually own a stake in that. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to join us in the morning, Money in the Morning class, you could text the word morning to the number 87948. So text morning to 87948. And also, we do have the swing trading study group with Lawrence Eggleston that's happening soon. I sent that link out to you guys earlier. I could send it out again at some point, but that's going to happen. And then also, we're going to do some other fun things later coming up in the next couple of weeks. So hang out with us in the Black Business School. I think you guys will like it. If you're new, welcome. And if you're not new, then keep going, keep pushing, keep being smart, keep being black, keep working hard, and you will be successful. All right. So I'll see you guys soon and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.